Every time we talk about like a watch or a car, a bunch of messages from losers try to tell me I'm making them feel bad about their situation. You're in control of your own situation and your own feelings. So don't put it on me that you feel bad. Oh, but I'm struggling with rent this month. Figure it the fuck out. People are going to talk about things that you don't have for the rest of your fucking life.
So it's no surprise that people are turning on Tom Segura. His fans aren't happy with what they're seeing, and many would argue that Tom only has himself to blame. But what if I told you that there was another side of the story that not many people have addressed? Was this behaviour inevitable from Tom? Should we have seen this coming from a mile away? But before we can get into that, we have to address why so many people hate Tom Segura. First, we have to look at the reduction in quality of Tom's content. This could be attributed to Tom's heavy workload and a busy schedule. Tom has 2 podcasts, multiple tours, his stand-up, and a bunch of other ventures and projects that Tom has to attend to. What happens when somebody's under a lot of pressure to meet multiple deadlines? What happens when you're incredibly pushed for time and under a tight schedule? Well, one could assume that there'll be a reduction of quality in your work and content. And this really stood out to me when Quinton Tarantino called out Tom for not reading his book in preparation for his appearance on the show.
You said you've been reading it for a little bit. All right. Where are you up to now?
I don't know. You are talking about going to, you've started to go to the
opening chapter.
Yeah. But I didn't read it. I told you that.
I know. Boy, you were still listening to it.
I was listening to it. Yeah,
so you've listened to the half of the opening chapter.
I got it.
Where in the opening chapter did you arrive at? Did you? Okay. When you listened to it today for the first time, as you drove from your house to the studio today.
Not today.
When you pulled up today, where was it at?
I swear to God, not today. And I'll tell you where I am. You're at the movies.
Okay.
That's where you're at in this one. You're somewhere at the movies.
Well, that narrows it down.
Well, somewhere.
Oh, when I'm watching the Jim Brown movie?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, that's it. The Jim Brown movie. Yeah, that's what you
it's about
That's the ticket. That's the ticket.
1970, something like that.
You're literally describing the first 3 pages.
It's clear to me that the pressure from all the other things that Tom has going on seems to be spilling into his podcasts. Tom is quite clearly burnt out, and he simply can't provide the level of quality that he once had. And this can lead to the show feeling quite stale at times, with Tom resorting to talking about his material assets, which a large majority of his fans seem to be getting sick and tired of. This conveniently leads us on to our next problem, and that's Tom losing his relatability to his audience. You see, with Tom being so busy, he doesn't have a lot of time to come up with many captivating discussion points during his podcasts, and this could be the reason why Tom resorts to talking about his cars, his watches, and his private jets. The real problem lies here, is this is not what Tom's audience originally signed up for. I think Tom's audience has fallen in love with a character that no longer exists. Tom has grown and he's a completely different person, but are we missing something? Is there another side to the story? Well, I think there is, and people are heavily neglecting this. And before all the Tom Segura diehards swarm me in the comments, I'm just presenting the other side of the argument that some of you may have not considered. This may be slightly controversial, but here goes nothing. A part of me thinks that this materialistic, money-hungry version of Tom was inevitable. I think with all the wealth and fortune that Tom has accumulated, it would be hard for anybody to remain the same person. You have new experiences, new friends, more access to things that you wouldn't have had previously. So my question is, are we asking too much of Tom Segura? Of course, his recent antics are completely unjustified, like having a meltdown about having to have your bags checked, but in terms of him becoming more open to talk about his wealth, his watches and his cars, you could say that the signs were very clear. This may upset many of you, but my question is, can we expect a person to remain the same for an extended period of time with the addition of a significant increase in wealth and status? Are we currently witnessing the evolution of Tom Segura's personality? Don't get me wrong, Tom hasn't helped himself in recent times, but I think it's important to remember that there are 2 sides to every story, whether you like it or not. Of course, I'm not saying that everything Tom does is correct, but I'm simply providing you with an alternative perspective. Whoever's watching this video, I want you to know that I felt the exact same way about Tom, but after some careful consideration, I was left wondering if there was indeed another side to this story. We could have never predicted this big of a change in Tom's behaviour, but expecting no change at all is slightly naive, especially when we consider the countless amounts of celebrities who have changed due to their fame and fortune. Despite this, I still think Tom is a top tier comedian, and he's still one of my favourite stand-up comedians, regardless of his off-stage antics. But let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the whole situation. If you have found this video interesting, then check out the one in the top right. I'm sure you'll enjoy that one too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, we will talk soon.